on board all of his stock-related queries. And we have our experts today joining us. We have Kunal Prar, who's joining us from Choice Equity Broking, and Rupak, who's joining us from LKP Securities. Very good morning, gentlemen. And remember, viewers, this is a show where you get answers for all of your stock-related queries. You can write to us on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on your screen. And do remember, each time you write to us, mention your name, the stock that you're looking to invest in, mention that name as well, along with the buy price, the quantity, and the time horizon. With that, our experts will be able to help you better. And today, we have two techie guests, which means it's a techie special episode of Buy Now, Sell Now, which means that all of your stock-related queries for the short to medium term will be answered by both of our experts. Once again, good morning, Rupak, as well as Kunal. And let me start taking queries. The first one that I have is coming in from Ganesh. He's writing to us from Bangalore. Ganesh, he's writing to us from Bangalore. Mahindra & Mahindra and IndusInd Bank wants to know whether we can go ahead and buy this counter right now for the long term. Rupak, let me come to you and get your views coming in on Mahindra & Mahindra and IndusInd Bank on the charts. Do you think it's the right level to go ahead and invest in both of these counters?
Mahindra & Mahindra, the stock has reached to the bottom of the broadening wedge and is finding support near previous swing lows. So around 2600, 2650 would be a good level to add, but he needs to add a stop loss below 2550. On the higher end, the stock, when it recovers, it might move towards 2800, 1000 in the short to medium term.
So that view coming in, Kunal, Rupak, coming to you. The second query is coming in from our viewer Vijay from Bengaluru. He's asking if it's good to buy Adani Green today. It's a very short-term view coming in. He's asking what is the target for the end of March. So just a 1 month view. Would you be able to help with that?
Are you asking to me?
Rupak.
Okay. So Adani Green has corrected significantly. So over the last 2-3 months, over the last 5 months, the stock has corrected significantly. And right now, the stock has not given any signal for a reversal. But we think after a significant correction, the stock might give a small pullback. So the stock can be bought for a small pullbacks or for a trading purpose. And the stop loss can be placed below 770, and on the upside, the stock might recover towards 920 in the short term.
But coming back to you, our viewer Subramaniam is writing to us from Chennai. He's got KPIT Tech. He's holding that with a 35% profit. He's bought this stock long back. He's asking, can I buy more at these levels, and will that lead to any short-term gain on the stock? What's the near-term outlook when it comes to KPIT Green?
So KPIT has recently fallen below its recent consolidation, and the stock is likely to move down further lower towards 1120 kind of level. So it will be good to add more the stock around 1150 kind of level, keeping a stop loss below 1070. And on recovery, the stock might move back towards 1400.
Take this next one actually.
Rupa, coming to you. Next viewer coming in from our viewer Deepak Dave, who's writing to us from Gandhinagar and is a senior citizen. He's also a long-term investor. He's asking that he has 2,550 shares of Motherson Wiring at price of 40 rupees average. Should he average at this price or completely exit his holding right now? What's the outlook?
The stock has reached towards its previous swing low, and it is likely to find support around that level, like 45 would be the good support. He can hold, or he might add some stocks to his holding with a stop loss below 45. If the stock does not fall below 45 in the near to short term, the stock might move back towards 56 in the next 1 or 2 months.
I'll take this next query.
Rupa, coming to you. Next question is coming from Mr. Subrata Mukherjee, writing to us from Kolkata. He's asking for your view on PNB Housing Finance. He's asking if now would be a good time to buy, and what do you make of this stock on the charts? What's the outlook going ahead?
So the stock has given a breakdown from its previous swing low on the daily chart, and on the lower end, the stock might extend its correction towards 740 kind of level. So 740 would be a good level to add the stock with a stop loss of 717. Once the stock falls below 717, you can exit the stock. However, if the stock does not fall below 770 or 720, the stock might move back towards the higher level. Towards 800 is a good level to book the profit. So it will be a trading peak, not an investment one.
That's the take coming in on PNB. Let me take this next query that is coming in from our viewer, Manjunath, who's a senior citizen writing to us from Bangalore. And Manjunath has been holding Paradip Phosphates for a long period of time, since the year 2022. The profit is excellent given the fact that the viewer has been holding for almost 2 to 3 years. Now the stock has actually come off its elevated levels. The viewer wants to know whether to stay put with this one or book our profits, which they're already holding on to it. He's saying that the profits is in excess of about 100% or so. Okay, 60%, approximately 60% upside is what the viewer has seen. What's your take on this one? Rupak, what should he do?
So he can definitely hold the stock with the stop profit level of 85. If the stock falls below 85, then he might book out his profit and wait for re-entry into the stock. Below 85, the stock might move down towards 74. Around 74, the stock would be good to re-enter with a stop loss of 69. Now, if the stock does not fall below 85, what might happen? The stock might move back towards 100 rupees in the short term.
So that's the view coming in. Rupak, coming to you. I'm not sure if you cover these stocks. Are these in your coverage? Bajaj Housing as well as NIIT Limited. Our viewers writing to us, not mention their name, would like to accumulate and hold for a 3 to 5 year time frame. Do you cover these stocks?
So exactly. I do not cover these stocks, but I can share my technical view on these stocks. So first one is Bajaj Housing Finance Limited. The stock is trading around its previous swing low on the daily chart. And if the stock does not fall below 104 on a sustained basis or on a closing basis, the stock might witness a recovery. And on recovery, the stock might move towards 120 in the short term. So I would suggest to hold the stock with a stop loss of 104. Below 104, the stock might move into the decline. Another stock is NID. The stock is in downtrend. It has a support at 108. Below 108, the correction might extend towards 100 rupees. So I think it would be good to exit below 108.
Moving on, then this next query that I have is coming in from...
And let's keep it going with all of your queries. We have Kunal and Rupak joining us back on the show. Thanks for staying on with us, gentlemen. And Rupak, coming to you now. Our next query is coming in from our viewer RK Ahuja from Ambernath. He has a 2-year time frame for the stock Aurobindo Pharma. He holds 200 shares at 1,178 rupees. Also holds 40 shares of Angel One at a rate of 2,828 rupees per share. He's asking now, would now be a good time to average or completely exit holdings in both of these stocks? If not, he can afford to hold for 2 years going ahead as well. So what's your view coming in?
Aurobindo Pharma has already corrected by about 33%, in the last few months. In fact, in the last 5 months. So, but we have further room for further correction, and the stock might move down towards 990, 1,000 kind of level. And on the higher end, there is a resistance at around 1140. So I think the stock Aurobindo Pharma might remain weak till the time it is trading below 1160 kind of level. And on the lower end, 1,000 looks possible. Around 1,000, the stock can be added to this holding, and the stop loss can be placed below 940. For Angel One, I think the stock has given a rising trend line breakdown, and it is likely to move down towards lower level. I think 1880 kind of level looks possible from the current level. And till the time it is remaining below 2270 to 2300, the stock might remain into sell mode, and correction in the short term looks possible. So if he is holding the stock, he might reduce the stock below. He may reduce the stock below 2130, and around 1880, around 1900, he can add back the stock.
Rupak, coming to you, very interesting query coming your way. It's coming from our viewer Mahalakshmi, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. She has initiated purchase on ABB since November of 2022 in small quantities. So every time she buys ABB, it's either in units of 1, 2 or at best 3 shares at a time. That's how she has built up her portfolio or holding when it comes to ABB. Now, after so much time, she's come to a total of 75 shares. She now holds 75 shares at an average price of 5,556 and continues to be in a loss. Would you suggest if she should continue her purchase strategy for the long term? Are better days for ABB? Do they lie on the charts going ahead? What's your outlook for ABB?
I think this thing can be done till the time the stock is remaining above 4,300. So around 4,500, the stock has a very good support. There is a concession level around 45 and 4,300. So till 4,500, she can average and keeping a stop loss below 4,300. Below 4,300, the stock might become very weak, and she should consider exiting below 4,300. But if the stock does not fall further for much below 4,500, there might be a chance that the stock might move towards 6,600 once again in the short to medium term.
Rupak, coming to you, our viewer Dilip from Odisha is writing to us. 3 stocks he's holding. Ireda holds 50 shares, average price of 241. He holds Ircon International 70 shares at an average price of 267, and IRFC 50 shares at an average price of 163. These are mostly IRFC and Ireda are financing companies. His horizon is for the long term. He's asking what to do, average or sell.
So for IRFC, the stock has a very good support at 115. The stock falls below 115. He might consider reducing his holding in the stock, or might consider exiting completely. And in the case of Ircon, I think there is a support. There is a support at around 140. Yeah, the stock is trading near its support. So if the stock holds 140, there is a possibility that the stock might move back towards 170 kind of level in the short to medium term. And if the stock falls below 140 decisively, then there might be correction. Holding with a stop loss of 139 would be prudent.
Alright, so that's the take coming in on Ircon.
Is a long-term query coming in. Rupak, our viewer Murari Prasad is writing to us from Greater Noida. He's been holding 215 equity shares of Bandhan Bank at a buy price of 315 since the last 6.5 years. He's asking if he should continue to hold or he should exit the stock right now. And he's also holding 352 shares of NHPC at a price of 105 for a year. Now that stock has not done anything at all over the last 1 year, and that NHPC we're talking about. What's your view on both of these names, Bandhan Bank as well as NHPC?
So if I talk about Bandhan Bank, the stock has corrected by around 70% since 2020 high. And currently the stock is showing initial signs of short-term recovery. I'm not saying the stock might recover completely and move into 400 kind of zone, but short-term recovery might be there. And if the stock manages to hold above 130, the stock might move towards 150 kind of level in the short term. Above 150, the stock might move towards 165 kind of level. So this kind of movement can be expected if the stock holds above 130. Can be held or can be bought with a stop loss of 129 for a target of 150.
Now coming back to you, our viewer V. Murli is writing to us from Bangalore. The stock in question is GE Shipping. He's bought 500 shares of GE Shipping at a buy price of 1,186 rupees per share. He's incurring a huge loss according to him. Well, yes, of course, the stock is at 818 right now. He's got it at 1186. What's the view going ahead? Do you believe this kind of recovery where, forget making a profit, even reaching break even is something that can happen in the near term for our viewer? Or should he just book his losses and exit?
Around 50% correction was there in the last several months, and the stock is likely to correct further. I think 750, 760 would be the better level as compared to current level to add the stock, and a stop loss would be there at 740. So with a stop loss of 740, the stock can be added around 760 kind of level. for a upside recovery towards 850, 900 in the short to medium term.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on GE Shipping. Let's move on. On that note, viewers, I'm afraid we're completely timed out on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. It's the end of all the viewer queries we could accommodate on the show today. But viewers, keep writing to us because we'll be addressing all of your queries same time on Monday as well. Kunal and Rupak, thank you so much for joining us. But with that, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Stay tuned to ET Now because Markets at Noon is up next.